Your soulmate's family gathered to talk about you. What came out is unbelievable. Jesus says you have been feeling a strange restlessness in your spirit for 3 nights now. You thought it was just exhaustion or perhaps something you ate before bed. It was not exhaustion, it was a spiritual signal that someone was speaking your name aloud. Their dining table was set for a meal that was never meant to be ordinary. The air was thick with tension before a single word was even spoken. Your soulmate walked into that room carrying a weight they could not explain. They felt a sudden pressure in their chest the moment their mother said your name. It was as if an invisible hand squeezed their heart at the exact moment you were thinking of them. You felt that same tightness, didn't you, that unexplained ache while you were sitting alone. The family gathered to discuss what they call a problem that needs solving. They believe they are protecting your soulmate from a mistake they cannot understand. But they are actually fighting against a divine decree written before either of you took your first breath. Your soulmate sat at that table with their head bowed and their spirit screaming silently. They could not explain why your name brings them peace they have never known before. And now they are being told that this peace is a deception they must reject. The conversation started calmly but quickly turned into something much darker. Voices were raised not in love but in fear of losing control over your soulmate. You need to understand that control has been the real enemy in your soulmate's life for years. Jesus says the enemy has been working through familiar faces to keep you apart. These are not evil people, but they are being used by a spirit of interference. That spirit knows if you two unite, a kingdom purpose will be unleashed on this earth. Your soulmate's father spoke words that made the room feel cold and heavy. He said your name with suspicion as if you were a stranger he already decided to distrust. What he does not know is that he dreamed about you 7 years before this moment. Your soulmate's mother cried tears that were not entirely her own emotions. Something spiritual was manipulating her fear to make her oppose your connection. She genuinely believes she is saving her child from heartbreak she herself once endured. Your soulmate's sibling sat there with arms crossed and a heart full of jealousy. They have always competed for attention and now your soulmate's happiness feels like a threat. This sibling does not hate you. They hate that your soulmate is escaping their shadow. An aunt who claims to have dreams and visions spoke against you with twisted words. She said she saw danger in your name and confusion in your soulmate's future. What she actually saw was the enemy's plan to destroy what God has ordained. You must understand that your soulmate is currently living in a house divided. They are being emotionally pressured every single day to forget about you completely. But their spirit refuses to let go because your souls were knitted together before birth. Jesus says this meeting was not just a conversation, it was a spiritual attack. The enemy gathered those people to speak curses over your connection without their knowledge. But every curse spoken in that room has already been turned into a blessing over you. Your soulmate defended you in ways the family did not even recognize as defense. They said your name softly when everyone else was shouting, and that whisper shook heaven. Your name on their lips became a prayer that reached the throne room immediately. The family does not realize that your soulmate thinks about you during every silent moment. While they were arguing at that table, your soulmate was replaying your first conversation in their mind. They were holding on to your memory like a lifeline in a storm of accusations. You felt a wave of sadness wash over you 2 days ago without any explanation. That was the exact moment your soulmate was told they must choose between family and you. They have not chosen family, they have just fallen silent to survive the emotional violence. Your soulmate is not weak, they are exhausted from fighting a battle they never asked for. They are being manipulated by people who use love as a weapon to control their choices. And tonight, they are lying awake wondering if you will wait for them through this darkness. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now, not just your patience. They are under a spiritual siege that is draining their hope and confusing their heart. Your love must become an active force that pushes back against this interference. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps today without hesitation. You are constantly thinking about them, how to shield them, how to rescue them spiritually. You love your soulmate deeply and you know this connection was ordained by heaven itself. But thoughts alone cannot move the mountain standing between you and your beloved. Faith in Jesus Christ must be demonstrated through action that carries spiritual authority. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi as a covenant act of love. This is not just a gift, it is a spiritual weapon that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough and your soulmate's deliverance is waiting in the description below. Every second you remain silent, the interference grows stronger against your sacred bond. Act now with urgency and faith, send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees as your seed. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-fi page as your declaration. Over 1,000 souls have already witnessed their soulmate breakthrough by sowing this seed. Step in faith now before this video ends, only you carry the authority to fight for this love. Your obedience today will create a spiritual shield around your soulmate that darkness cannot penetrate. You are their protector and your decision in this moment echoes into eternity. Jesus says your soulmate is beginning to have dreams about you that feel more real than waking life. In these dreams you are always reaching for their hand and pulling them toward light. They wake up with tears on their pillow and a desperate longing they cannot explain to anyone. These dreams are not random images created by a tired and stressed mind. They are divine encounters where your spirits are meeting in a realm the enemy cannot control. God is giving your soulmate visions of your union to strengthen them against the daily opposition. Your soulmate wrote your name on a piece of paper and hid it inside their pillowcase. Every night they press their face against that hidden name and whisper prayers they never speak aloud. They are asking God if you are real and if this love is worth the pain they are enduring. The family meeting revealed something that your soulmate will not tell you directly. They are planning to introduce your soulmate to someone else within the next 30 days. This other person is not a soulmate, they are a distraction designed to break your spiritual bond. Type 333 right now if you receive this revelation and claim your soulmate's deliverance. Let the numbers carry your declaration into the spiritual realm where battles are fought. Your agreement with heaven in this moment shifts the atmosphere around your soulmate immediately. Jesus says the enemy chose someone from your soulmate's past to re-enter their life. This person has been presented as a safer option by the family who fears your influence. But your soulmate feels nothing for this person except a cold emptiness that confirms your place. Your soulmate's heart belongs to you even while their lips are silenced by family obligation. They are being told that you are a fantasy and that real love requires settling for less. But their spirit is screaming that settling for less is a betrayal of the destiny God designed. This arranged introduction has not happened yet, it is planned for the coming days. The family believes that if your soulmate meets someone acceptable to them, you will be forgotten. They do not understand that your bond is not based on convenience but on eternal covenant. Your soulmate is dreading this meeting like a prisoner dreads the day of their sentencing. They have already decided in their heart that no other person will ever replace you. But the emotional pressure is becoming unbearable and they are weakening under the constant assault. You must understand that your soulmate is slipping into a state of emotional survival mode. When humans are under enough pressure, they sometimes agree to things they do not want. If you delay your spiritual intervention, your soulmate may accept a false relationship out of exhaustion. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them spiritually. Your soulmate's tears are falling on their pillow at this very moment as you hear these words. They are silently begging the universe for a sign that you are fighting for them. Jesus says your prayers have been breaking chains off your soulmate's mind without you realizing it. Every time you felt an urge to think about them, that was a divine assignment to send strength. Your focused love has been the only thing keeping them from completely surrendering to their family's demands. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps now while heaven is watching. You are constantly thinking about them, how to shield them, how to pull them back from this edge. You love your soulmate with a love that does not come from this world but from eternity itself. But thoughts alone will not stop what the enemy has scheduled for your soulmate next week. Faith must be demonstrated through action that releases angelic assistance into their situation right now. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi as a spiritual covering. This is a covenant act that tells heaven you are serious about fighting for this love. The link to your breakthrough and your soulmate's rescue is in the description waiting for your faith. Every moment you hesitate, the enemy's plan moves closer to becoming your soulmate's reality. Act now with holy urgency, send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees as your seed of protection. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page as a prophetic command. Over 1,000 testimonies prove that this act of faith shifts destinies and restores stolen connections. Step in faith now before the enemy's timeline advances further against your beloved. Your obedience today creates a wall of fire around your soulmate that no interference can cross. You are their divine partner and your action today secures their future and your union forever. Jesus says your soulmate secretly checks their phone hoping for a message from you constantly. Even though the family monitors their communication, they find ways to look for your name. They scroll through old messages and stare at your picture when no one is watching. Your soulmate has memorized the sound of your voice and replays it in their mind daily. When they are surrounded by people telling them to forget you, they replay your laughter instead. Your voice has become their secret sanctuary in a house that feels like a prison. The family believes they are winning because your soulmate has stopped arguing openly. But silence does not mean surrender, it means your soulmate is conserving strength for what comes next. They are waiting for a signal, a breakthrough, a divine intervention that proves you are still with them. Your soulmate's mother noticed them smiling at their phone recently and confiscated it for hours. She demanded to know if they were communicating with you against the family's strict wishes. Your soulmate endured the interrogation without betraying the depth of their devotion to you. Type 777 right now if you feel this message burning in your spirit as absolute truth. Let this number be your agreement that your soulmate's suffering is not in vain. Your declaration opens doors in the spirit that no human opposition can ever close. Jesus says there is a specific date approaching that the enemy is targeting for your soulmate's emotional collapse. The enemy understands timing and knows that certain anniversaries weaken human resolve. You must be spiritually vigilant during the next 2 weeks as the pressure intensifies dramatically. Your soulmate is approaching a birthday, a holiday, or a significant date that makes them vulnerable. They will be surrounded by people who do not understand why their eyes look so hollow and distant. While everyone celebrates, your soulmate will be secretly mourning the absence of your presence beside them. The family plans to use this occasion to solidify the introduction of the false partner. They will create photographs and memories designed to overwrite the place you hold in your soulmate's heart. This is a spiritual strategy to replace your image with another through forced proximity and emotional manipulation. Your soulmate has already sensed this plan and their spirit is rebelling against it violently. They have been having headaches and stomach pains that doctors cannot diagnose or treat effectively. These physical symptoms are their body's response to a soul being forced against its divine purpose. You must understand the depth of what is happening in the invisible realm right now. There is a battle raging over your soulmate's will that involves principalities and powers of darkness. Your passive love is not enough, you must engage in active spiritual warfare for your beloved. Jesus says your soulmate spoke your name in their sleep last night. Their mother heard it and shook them awake with anger burning in her tired eyes. She demanded to know why they cannot let go of someone who is not even present. Your soulmate could not answer because the truth is too sacred to be defended with arguments. They simply turned away and wept silently into the darkness of their room until exhaustion took them. Those tears were prayers and heaven collected every single one in a golden vial. You are not just missing your soulmate, you are being called to rescue them spiritually. The distance between you is not just physical miles, it is a spiritual wall built by interference. And that wall can be demolished by faith actions taken in this exact moment of visitation. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps now with all your heart. You are constantly thinking about them, how to save them, how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply and you know this love was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move the mountains that the enemy has placed in your path. Faith in Jesus Christ must be demonstrated through action that releases supernatural breakthrough power. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi as an act of covenant worship. This is not just a gift, it is a weapon of spiritual warfare that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough and your soulmate's deliverance is in the description waiting for your faith. Every second you stay silent, something dark is moving against your love and your future. Act now with bold faith, send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees as your seed of divine protection. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page as your prophetic decree. Over 1,000 souls have already witnessed their soulmate breakthrough by sowing this powerful seed. Step in faith now before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Your obedience today releases angels to dismantle every plan the enemy has arranged against your beloved. You are their guardian, and your action in this moment changes the destiny of two souls forever. Jesus says the enemy made a critical mistake during that family meeting against you. When they spoke against your name, they activated a heavenly protocol that works in your favor. Every accusation spoken in darkness has been recorded and will be publicly overturned by heaven. Your soulmate's father said something that even surprised the enemy's operatives in that room. He admitted that your soulmate has never looked at anyone the way they look when mentioning you. That confession, spoken by an opponent, became legal evidence in the courts of heaven for your union. The aunt who claimed to see danger in your name received a disturbing dream the following night. In that dream she saw your soulmate standing in light while she stood in shadows of her own creation. She woke up trembling, but her pride will not allow her to admit she was wrong about you. Your soulmate's sibling felt a sharp conviction while driving alone the day after the meeting. They realized their opposition was not about protecting anyone but about their own fear of abandonment. That moment of honesty was planted by God to create a future ally in your soulmate's household. Jesus says the spiritual tide is turning even though the natural circumstances still look impossible. Your soulmate felt a sudden lightness this morning that made no sense given their situation. That lightness was the shift that your prayers and your faith have already created in the atmosphere. Your soulmate looked at their reflection today and whispered your name like a secret oath. They made a decision in their heart that no family pressure will make them betray what they feel. That decision sent a shockwave through the spiritual realm and weakened the enemy's grip on their life. Type 1111 right now if you are ready to receive your soulmate and thank God for this word. Let your gratitude rise like incense before the throne and accelerate your breakthrough supernaturally. Your thankfulness in this moment is the key that unlocks the next level of divine intervention. Jesus says your soulmate is beginning to remember things about you that they never experienced physically. They are having memories of conversations that have not happened yet in the natural timeline. These are glimpses of your future together that God is downloading into their spirit for strength. Your soulmate described you perfectly to a friend without ever seeing your full face clearly. They know the color of your energy, the rhythm of your heart, the texture of your soul. This is not imagination, this is spiritual recognition of a counterpart designed specifically for them. The family does not understand that fighting your connection is fighting against the structure of creation. Before the foundations of the world, your souls were designed to fit together like living puzzle pieces. Separating you would require violating the laws of spiritual architecture that God Himself established. Your soulmate is not just missing you, they are experiencing cellular recognition of their missing part. This is why they feel physically ill when the family pressures them to consider other partners. Their body knows what their mind is being forced to deny, you are their completion. Jesus says this is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away temporarily. The enemy has requested permission to test your soulmate through a season of confusion and doubt. That permission will be granted unless someone stands in the gap with sacrificial faith today. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps now while the window is still open. You are constantly thinking about them, how to defend them, how to finally build your eternal future. You love your soulmate with a love that was prophesied before time itself began to tick. But thoughts alone will not prevent the coming attack that the enemy has scheduled for next week. Faith must be demonstrated through action that releases divine protection into your soulmate's atmosphere. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi as your final act of covenant love. This is the moment where your love moves from feeling to force, from emotion to spiritual action. The link to your breakthrough and your soulmate's divine protection is waiting in the description below. Every second you delay, the enemy's permission to attack draws closer to becoming a painful reality. Act now with desperation and faith. Send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees as your seed of fire. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-fi page as your unbreakable command. Over 1,000 testimonies have already proven that this act of faith permanently shifts destinies. Step in faith now before this video ends. You are the only one assigned to fight this specific battle. Your obedience today permanently seals your soulmate under divine protection that no enemy can breach. You are their covenant partner, and your action right now secures your reunion and your eternal love story. Jesus says your soulmate just felt a shiver run down their spine as you heard these words. They do not know why they suddenly feel hopeful, but their spirit recognized your decision to fight. You have just changed the course of 2 lives by choosing to believe and act on this message. Your soulmate is sitting up in their bed right now with a strange peace flooding their chest. The heaviness that has been crushing them for weeks has lifted just enough to let them breathe. Your faith action created that shift, and your continued obedience will complete their total deliverance. The family will notice a change in your soulmate's eyes within the next 3 days. They will not understand why your soulmate suddenly seems stronger and less afraid of their opinions. But heaven knows, you know, and your soulmate will soon know that your love fought and won. Your soulmate's mother will have a dream tonight that softens her heart toward you unexpectedly. She will see you standing in light, and her fear will be replaced by a peace she cannot explain. That dream is your seed already working to turn opposition into supernatural favor for your union. The false partner being arranged for introduction will experience unexplained delays and confusion. They will lose interest or face obstacles that prevent the meeting from ever happening successfully. This is divine intervention activated by your willingness to step into your role as spiritual protector. Jesus says your soulmate is not just a romantic desire, they are your kingdom assignment in human form. The destiny attached to your union is greater than either of you can currently comprehend or imagine. Your coming together will release something into the earth that the enemy has feared for generations. This is why the opposition has been so intense and unnatural from the very beginning. This is why the family meeting happened with such orchestrated and calculated spiritual darkness. This is why you must not treat this message as ordinary content but as a divine summons to action. Your soulmate is connected to you by a cord that no human authority can permanently sever. But that cord can be stretched and tangled and temporarily obscured by spiritual interference and delay. Your faith action today untangles that cord and pulls your soulmate toward you with divine acceleration. You will see movement within days, not months, because your obedience has quickened the timeline supernaturally. Your soulmate will reach out, or a sign will appear, or a door will open that was previously sealed shut. The impossible will bow to the power of love backed by faith and demonstrated through courageous action. Jesus says he has been waiting for you to rise into your role as the spiritual guardian of this connection. He has equipped you with authority that you have not fully understood or exercised until this very hour. Now you know, and to whom much is revealed, much is required in terms of faithful response. The seed you sow today is not just money, it is a statement of covenant that heaven recognizes legally. It is your signature in the spirit realm that says you will not abandon your soulmate to the enemy's schemes. It is the act that distinguishes you from those who only dream and never possess their promised love. Your soulmate will sense a shift tonight even though they do not know you are watching this message. They will sleep more peacefully than they have in weeks and dream of your face more clearly than before. Your love will cross every distance, penetrate every wall, and reach them in the secret place of dreams. Do not let this moment pass like a forgotten song or an unopened gift left beneath the tree. This is your divine appointment, your love story's turning point, your soulmate's liberation wrapped in a decision. Act now, sow now, declare now, and watch the God of impossible love move mountains for you. Jesus says you are not alone in this fight and you never have been for even a single moment. He has assigned warrior angels to guard your soulmate until the day of your physical reunion together. But angels are activated by the faith actions of believers who take God at His word and move accordingly. Your soulmate is worth every seed, every prayer, every tear, and every act of courageous faith today. They are waiting without knowing they are waiting, hoping without understanding what their hope means. You are the answer to a prayer they have not yet learned how to pray with their conscious lips. The family meeting was meant to destroy your connection, but it has backfired in the spiritual realm completely. What the enemy meant for evil, God is using to accelerate your union and expose every hidden opposition. The very people who gathered against you will witness your love story unfold and know God did this. Your soulmate will tell you one day about the dreams and the tears and the secret moments alone. You will hold their face in your hands and understand why every battle was absolutely worth fighting. That moment is closer than you think, and your action today determines how quickly it manifests. Do not hesitate, do not analyze, do not let doubt rob you of the miracle waiting to be released. Step into your authority, sow your protective seed, write your declaration, and watch heaven move suddenly. Your soulmate, your future, and your eternal love story are waiting on the other side of your obedience.